All right, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to a new YouTube video. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys some training from the last week of my last mesocycle, where I go to failure on pretty much everything, including deadlifts. So stay tuned for that. But here we just have some bicep curls that I'm starting out with. Looks like, my arms are actually growing, which is exciting. And, it's been like 2 weeks since I posted a YouTube video. School has started this spring semester of my senior year of school now, which is kind of nuts. I am super busy. I actually had 2 exams this week, and it's only week 3 of the semester, so it's nice to welcome back, I guess. But I'm really excited to be beginning of this semester. It's getting all like way more complicated, taking some pretty advanced kinesiology courses along with a lot of other stuff. I'm taking a neuroscience course right now too, and if you guys have learned anything about neuroscience, like neurons and the brain and how the brain's organized and what it all does and how it all works, that stuff is really interesting, and it's also difficult. So I personally really enjoy the challenge. Right here we have some deficit deadlifts that I'm showing you guys. I figured I would also in this video talk about why I'm doing deficit deadlifts, and why I'm doing them opposed to a normal conventional deadlift, right? The reason that I'm doing deficit deadlifts is because they increase the amount of hip flexion that is required to initiate the movement, which effectively lengthens the glutes over the hip joint, which puts them through a greater stretch under load, which causes more muscle gain. Basically, what that means kind of in layman terms is if you had like a rubber band that extended from, the back of your thigh to your lower back, would it be like more stretched if you were at just like normal hip angle of a normal deadlift or from a deficit deadlift? Like with a deficit deadlift, you actually have to bring your hips lower in order to actually start the movement. So it honestly puts you in like more of a position similar to a squat. So your glutes get stretched more, and that actually, yields more hypertrophy. And another thing that I'm going to mention after this, which is 385 pounds for a potentiation set that I was doing before my work set here of 365 pounds. My goal here was to hit this for 10. I really wanted this to get it for 10 because the week prior I had been at home and I got 365 pounds for a set of 8, I believe, and a set of 7. And deadlifts for me, man, I just need to progress on them every week. I love deadlifts, and I'm really happy to have them in the program again. They just, I don't know, something about it allows the ego to go burr. So I like them. But another reason that I like to use deficit deadlifts is that they allow me to use less load than I would use in a normal conventional. So while I guess that is a little bit of a hit on the ego, while this is an exercise that I do for the ego, less load on this movement actually allows for less systemic fatigue, which equals a better stimulus to fatigue ratio. If you guys don't know what the stimulus fatigue ratio is, basically what it is a definition, which is, God, I totally butchered that, but it's basically the amount of stimulus a given exercise yields relative to how much fatigue it causes. And deadlifts, for most people, are known to have a trash stimulus to fatigue ratio because they cause a really good amount of stimulus, but for a lot of people, they just cause so much fatigue, like it's not even worth it to have them in their program. And for me, normal conventional deadlifts just cause a fuck ton of fatigue because I'm pretty strong at them at this point with my powerlifting background. And this actually allows me to use less load. Also, the set that you're seeing right here is 315 pounds. I did a little down set here, which basically just is, using less weight at the exact same rep range. So I'm actually able to get higher in the rep range. I think on that second set, I actually got pretty low in my rep range that I was doing, which is 6 to 10. And here I was actually able to eke out 10 reps, which is a PR for me, which I was really freaking excited about. But yeah, these deadlifts, especially deficit deadlifts, are a movement that I would consider, and most people consider, a movement with a very high raw stimulus magnitude, which is the top part of the stimulus to fatigue ratio. So you got stimulus over fatigue, and deadlifts provide a ton of stimulus, but they also come with a lot of fatigue. And so for some people, the deadlift is just not an exercise that is worth it or plausible to do for hypertrophy training, especially. Of course, with powerlifting, it's something that you kind of have to do, but in hypertrophy training, it's not necessarily a great hypertrophy exercise unless you make it harder by, putting a deficit on there or doing something else to make it more difficult and actually make your muscles work a little bit harder. So for me, it ends up being worth it. One, because it does actually give me a really good stimulus and the fatigue is worth it, but also two, it meets other goals for me, like satisfying my ego, especially when I'm not bent rowing 275 like I want to. And here we just have some walking lunges. This is what I've been doing after deadlifts, because apparently I have a death wish. As you can tell here, I'm just sitting here just basking in the absolute agony that these cause after deadlifts. And then moving on, we have a little bit of posing that I thought I'd show you guys. I haven't really done a physique update on here in a long time, so I thought I'd go ahead and do that just to show you guys what the physique is looking like. Honestly, not too bad. After prep, I was worried about fat gain, which I think a lot of people worry about after prep, but not too bad. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.